last time on A Crown of Cold Iron. The party is advancing through the law office of Cawthorn, Allen, Tarr, and Smith. Specifically, the branch which has been pushing forward with a convoluted legal zoning measure that would see Lexi's Bar lose, essentially run out of business through bureaucratic means. They've been threatening this for months and months. Along the way, you finally figured out that, hey, this seems to be a plot on the behalf of the Fae. So you decided to actually go and check out the facilities of Cawthorn, Allen, Tarr, and Smith, looking for leads into, all manner of things. Clues on how to stop them from forcing out Luz, perhaps insight into the Kate Sea, and any machinations thereof, or any other connections they might have with the bewildering assortment of things that are happening around you. You attempted a reasonable and stealthy entry into a ground floor office, and instead found yourselves sucked into a massive fairy demand, which has been layered over this entire building. So last week, you managed to make your way onto this second floor, and you found the source of the illusion spell that has been sort of allowing what's basically a bunch of cats to act as lawyers. You destroyed or badly damaged the source of the spell, but in the process, you, riled up an office full of angry, magical cats called Luck Eaters. You very narrowly survived with Auric and Cyrus.
Our luck.
They did indeed. What's wild is the crits had nothing to do with that. Like, that wasn't like an ability. They weren't rolling like with extra advantage. That was just pure bad luck coming after you all, which is a weird way the dice just sometimes tell the story. So, Cyrus and Auric nearly died. Lexi, in a very sort of Rocky-esque moment, was the last woman standing, fighting one of the greater Luck Eaters in a toe-to-toe brawl, which she narrowly came out ahead. Auric got a nat 20 on his death saving throw, popped back to 1 hit point. You all crushed one of your Hugs bottle healing potions into Cyrus's mouth. And now you all are badly injured. The place is on fire because Auric blew up the room with the illusion source. And I think this is where we left you. So about a third of this room is smoldering and or on fire. All the cats, all the Luck Eaters that you defeated died in a shower of cursed sparks. So there's no bodies laying around. So you've got the double row of cubicles. You've got some random furniture. And you've still got the server room to investigate, as well as what looks like some kind of conference room down below.
Well, the server room was where the source of the illusion was, right?
Yes.
I would like to go over there to investigate and make sure that it is well and truly destroyed.
All right. Honestly, with your... I always forget, do you have cold or fire resistance?
Naturally cold.
Okay. Give me a... Let's just call this a... Give me a constitution check.
Check?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, starting off with an 8 for the night.
Whew. All right. It was only a check, though. You're definitely coughing and hacking as you head this way. There's quite a bit of smoke over here. The heat is fairly intense. You're not at the point where you're like taking damage or have like a status effect of some kind. But you can see that in the future. All right. So what are you wanting to investigate over here?
I'm wanting to find the source of the illusion and make sure that it is uh, very well destroyed.
All right.
And
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
okay. 12.
So you can't glean a ton of insight from this, but you do find where there was the illusion of all of these server racks. Once your fireball damaged something, the illusion dropped, revealing what seems to be an arcane console. Very similar to the one you saw in Fickle Spirits. Not Fickle Spirits. Under Banner and Norton in Maine's office. So looking over it, you can see that there are definitely parts of this that are pretty messed up. There's a lot of intricate rune work all over this thing.
Okay.
It's almost like a stone slab table. Just like one long flat rock on top of two standing rocks. And it's been etched. Like almost like inlaid with silver. With just all of these fairy runes just all over it. In several places there are crystals of various kinds. There look to have been some like bowls of various liquids that you can now see like splattered and scorched against the wall. There's a large crystal in the center. It looks like a quartz. I mean, probably as big as like bigger than like two hands together. And the edges of it are kind of smoking, like they've been sort of stained with soot almost. But it looks mostly intact.
Okay. Hang on, I need to read one of my abilities real quick. Y'all mind if I destroy this thing? I'm not going to get yelled at by Lexi or Cyrus.
Yep. I think Cyrus is going to go ahead to the conference room to take a look at it.
I'm just going to very quickly firebolt the giant quartz. And when I do that, I'm going to burn a sorcery point to give myself fire resistance for an hour.
All right. So this bolt of flame lashes out from your hand, and you wrap yourself in this fiery magic to protect yourself. Just for fun, give me an attack roll.
That's fair. I did use one that requires attack rolls. Well, 13. Rolling lots of sixes today.
Go ahead and give me a damage roll as well.
14 damage.
All right. You blast a hole into this console. This crystal like flares and goes sort of like orange at the center and like smashes into one of the burnt and scorched walls and then sort of rolls on the floor. As you cast magic around it, there's something weird with the sort of Triskelion mark as you're close to it. Give me an Arcana check with advantage. You vaguely recognize this.
All right, an 18.
All right. This is very similar to what you experienced down beneath the Raven Palace. After you cleared out one of the rooms, I think specifically it was the sort of chapel space, you all found this sort of glowing sphere of energy. And the Mark was able to sort of absorb a fragment of that energy. And you get a similar vibe from this. With that check, what I'll tell you is, this seems to be some kind of arcane core. It's been partially engraved with in electrical terms. It's almost sort of got like connectors where it sort of can be wired into something. It seems to have been partially configured for this powerful illusion and enchantment spell. It is a very powerful source. You could potentially take it back and use it as the focus for a powerful ritual spell if you wanted to avoid paying for components. You could potentially use it to enchant something. You could even theoretically like feed it to lose, much like you did the dimensional anchor, which improved various aspects of lose. But you also get the sense, now that you're seeing this again, you get the impression that this mark on your hand has something to do with consuming energy. That somehow the way this works is by consuming energy to heal. You could also potentially burn this thing now and restore some of your energy for the rest of your time here.
I was actually thinking about trying that before I made the check. I'm very quickly going to check and see if I'm in line of sight with Lexi, so that if something backfires and I fall down, she can run over and dump a potion down my throat.
Do you want me to get in line of sight of you? Because I don't know if I am. I don't think I am.
I need an adult.
I need an adult.
You need an adult. Okay. There.
I just impulsively grab it and try to suck it up.
All right. So this mark on your hand, it's nearly invisible most of the time. And I'm trying to remember, each of your marks had something different in it, right? Because there's the Triskelion mark, but there was, each one is slightly different, right?
I think
I actually don't remember.
I don't think I wrote it down. I should have.
I'm going to have to rewatch that. I'm 90...
Do you remember roughly when that was? Because I'll see if I wrote it down.
So that was when you got to the Raven Palace.
Okay.
Oh, man, was that like October?
Could have been.
I think so.
Let's see. Yeah, because this page is nothing but Himbo Fight Night. Dagadon, continue and explore the underground castle. Giant Raven. Okay, I think I need to go a little bit further back because we were mid that. Here we go.
This is a very like Spaceballs moment of all the characters going over to like a TV monitor and rewinding.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so August 30th is when we got to the sinkhole.
Whew.
For those watching in the future, it is currently April 11th.
Let's see.
So you all got the marks at the door. So it would have been like the first session heading down.
Wall twister. So yeah, so I have get marks on our hands. I have Amber written down for me, Auric, silver and black. Cyrus, I have blank, so apparently I missed whatever that was. Same hand as the one I cut on the light shard I wrote down. Then I also have something about an ancient language, sword, song, crown, shadow.
That's the one.
That's the one you're looking for. There you go.
So your Triskelion mark is mostly invisible against the backdrop of your scales.
Yeah.
As your hand gets closer to it, it's sort of away from you, so you can't really see this. You see like the back of it where it sort of wraps around your hand. As you reach out, it sort of like sizzles into existence. Sort of flaring up in just sort of a black pattern first, and then going sort of red hot. And at the center of your Triskelion pattern, this tiny crown sort of, and at the same moment, Cyrus and Lexi, both of you give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sorry, guys.
Supposed to say thanks, Auric. Uh, 15.
15.
All right. You both managed to keep your feet.
Okay.
Lexi, you're able to make this connection because you're watching him do this. Cyrus, you have no idea why, but suddenly all three of you are like rocked sideways. Your marks flare. At the center of Lexi's sort of three-part mark is a sword. At the center of Cyrus's is, I think it's
shadow.
I want to say it's just a feather.
Yeah.
And you all feel vitality just sort of kick into you like an adrenaline shot.
Oh, wonderful.
So Auric, this thing, it doesn't even just shatter. It just like disintegrates under your hand. And all three of you gain the effects of a long rest.
A long
sweet.
rest.
It's a big sacrifice. You could have done some cool stuff if you held on to it, but...
Could have.
Hard choices, but you can't spend it if you're dead, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm no longer going to suggest that we jump out the window.
I mean, you also at least have a vague idea that... Because when you looked out the window the first time, you saw sort of the illusion. You were looking out into sort of the daytime at a weird angle. It's hard to even say if it was an illusion or if it was disjointed space. It was odd, for sure. Once the semblance broke, you were looking out either, or maybe another way to say it is, you were looking out at both the parking lot outside, but also like the dark depths of an evergreen forest in the middle of deepest winter.
Right.
Right.
So you really don't know for sure if you would have a long fall to concrete or if you would potentially end up deep in one of the scariest parts of Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safer to stay indoors.
Yeah.
Go out through the front door instead of yeah.
All right. So that brings all of you to sort of full health. Cyrus, you are sort of rocked sideways, but you recuperate and feel much better.
Huzzah!
So in this room, if you want to check out this conference room, give me an investigation check.
19.
19. With a 19, one of the things you notice, there are more files in here. There are things sort of left on tables like there was like a meeting that got interrupted. But you notice that most of the paperwork, I'll even say all of the paperwork, still has that weird, like you saw last time. It's like all the words on the forms and documents have been replaced by words from this sort of strange poem centered on cats, written in Sylvan. While that in itself isn't particularly useful, what you notice is a little blinking dot of red. You just sort of catch it out of the corner of your eye, and now that the semblance has dropped, nothing else in this place is like put together, functioning, looks usable, workable. When the semblance drops, you realize this red dot is still there. There's a security camera in that corner, and the reason you noticed it is that it moved just a little bit. Someone is watching you all.
It zoomed in on Auric.
And it's in the conference room?
Yeah, and it's not in like a, it's not like hidden in a bush or something. It's in like a normal kind of spot, like up in a corner. It might not even be like a security. It's the same kind of camera you'd use for like a Zoom call or something, but it is on, and it is being focused on you as you move.
Give it the middle finger.
Is it like interactable? Like, I mean, like, is it in the ceiling? Can I see like buttons? Can I fiddle with it?
It is sort of like hard mounted up into that corner.
Okay.
But I mean, it'd just be a matter of dragging a chair over.
I guess like what Sarah said, there's probably not any way to figure out like where it's from the camera side to figure out where it's being.
I'll say this. We've established that like Cyrus is not your average bear when it comes to technology. Now, if Auric wanted to, no way. If Lexi wanted to, probably still no way. Cyrus, I think we've determined, even has like tools to do things like this. Like
Okay.
You've probably got like a weird cable that you can patch into it and connect to your phone and get information from it.
All right. Yeah. Cyrus is going to try to hack the camera.
Yay.
All right. You drag a chair over. Give me a technology check with advantage.
Yeah.
All right.
24.
With a 24, you're able to crack it open. It's sort of a standard phone, or sorry, a standard camera. You get the impression that it was probably like part of the building's installation. It doesn't seem like something that's been added later. It's only routed to one other thing on the network. And it's a computer on the network labeled BUCH-LT.
Gee, I wonder who.
Okay. there's no way to like locate where that computer is in the building. Probably not from here.
I would even say you can at least tell there's only one Wi-Fi network. And it's labeled BUCH office.
Okay.
And it's not at full strength where you are. So while Cyrus is pondering that, what are the rest of you doing?
I assumed that was happening around the same time that I was messing
Healing
around
us.
in the.
All right, so you have absorbed the energy from this arcane core.
Now what?
What's the plan?
I think probably my plan is regroup.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of curious as to like what else is around here. Because I can see that there's some, other shadows. I guess those are cubicles, aren't those? That are like directly south of me.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a double row of 3 cubicles.
Okay. I'm just kind of stepping in to see. Yeah.
I guess if I can see Cyrus because the server room is all glass, I would probably be heading in there with him. Just to be like, what is the plan?
All right. So you all regroup. What's the next move?
Well, we're
Stop it.
on a intel gathering mission, right?
Yep.
Have we yet found the intel we were looking for? I think no.
Yeah. Just jumping in here. So I guess go out the way we came and
back to the elevator.
Back to the elevator.
See if we can't get to another higher floor.
I think we're on the top. This was the top floor.
You're not entirely sure. You have been trying to go up. But just from looking out the window, you get the impression that you have been moving through space in a
non-linear fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't move myself.
You're stuck on a wall.
I know I was. I figured it out.
I was able to go through the glass because we broke it.
Right. Okay. No, I found the door, so it worked.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're dragging with your trackpad.
So do we want to attempt to go higher?
Well, so Cyrus, with you having found this camera, you investigated the computer that's out here, right? The one that's in this hallway. Did we? In the front room, the welcome room on this floor, for lack of a better term for it.
I can't remember if I looked at it. I think I just looked at the papers.
Well, okay. I think you looked at it but couldn't work out the password and didn't want to try anything super intrusive.
Right.
Right.
But if we're being watched, then
yeah. I don't know. It's just knowing what we know now, I'm a little suspicious of it. But
it's just in the conference room. I think Cyrus will probably just disconnect the camera. Before he leaves the conference room.
Smart.
Sound good.
Middle finger.
Yeah.
All right. You disconnect it, and there's a little, and the light goes out. That's where you go into next.
Yes. Yeah. I'll go take a look at what was in the front office again to see if is it still all cat language poem stuff?
It's all the reject poems from T.S. Eliot's Book of Practical Cats. Not even the one, not even like the book. It's the rejects that didn't make the cut. Didn't even make Andrew Lloyd Webber's cut. Isn't that right, Maisie? The cat language is the worst of T.S. Eliot's poems.
So when you go and you check the forms, give me another investigation check.
$21.
21. With a 21, let me think what you find. So with a 21, most of what you find here, it no longer has this this strange sort of Sylvan script all over it. But instead you find that a lot of it is like, it's still just sort of, it's random papers. Like, you find what appears to be like the construction, the instruction manual for building the desk has been like torn into individual sheets and stuffed in a folder. You also see places where it looks like the cats have like played with the paper, and it just has like long slashes all through it.
Red that paper.
Mm-hmm.
You do find one folder that does at least appear to have some actual important documents in it. And mostly it looks like a record of it's copies of the paperwork back and forth, because the law firm isn't engaging directly. They're representing a developer, and so it's correspondence with this developer. It's getting different like estimates and reports, and it's almost more of like a documents in, documents out record. Just keeping track of what was sent and received. What's interesting is it looks like the law firm initiated it. The first contact is from them to the developer, not the other way around.
Okay. I'm assuming this is about Luz.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something else noteworthy. There's nothing else here.
Just the stuff on Luz.
Yep.
So this entire thing is a setup to get to Luz. Surprise, surprise.
I guess Iris will take down the name of the developer and all that in case we want to follow up with them.
I will look it back up because I'm pretty sure I actually gave them a name like a year ago, but I don't remember what it was.
Let me see here. If I have... No, I don't. I'd have to go get my other notebook, which I can grab.
I mean, it was truly one of like the first things. Like it might have been like the first interlude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would have written it down though. Nope, sorry, kiddo.
So while Lexi is like racking her brain,
yeah, I know.
Is there anything else that you all want to do?
No, you have 30 minutes. 15. Sorry, I lied to you.
Yes, try to keep going up.
Yeah, let's get back into the magic elevator.
All right. With the semblance dropped, you can now see there are only 3 buttons on the elevator. Well, there's more than 3. There's 3 floors. It's ground 2-3.
Is one lit up to tell us what floor we're currently on?
There is. It is lit up on the second floor.
Okay. Interesting. I bet the cubicle room was 1.5.
Well, and you
Shall
also
we go?
determined that there was elements of sort of fairy space intruding. So, yeah, it might not have a reasonable parallel in normal physics.
It was actually floor pi.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, try to go up to 3. See what happens.
Let us see what's on 3.
Yeah.
Let me double check all our lighting and whatnot.
Yep.
Oh, yep, it wasn't on. All right. So I'm going to stack all 3 of you. Is there anything else you want to do before you get up the elevator?
Got a nice long rest, so.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So you press the remaining button. There is a... the doors slowly shut in front of you. And there's a very sort of normal sense of motion now. You feel sort of the kick as the elevator pulls up. There's a gentle ding. And one of the sets of doors open. And you're looking out into another darkened floor. This one... there's more of an immediate vibe here. You're in a sort of receptionist area, but it's, how do I put this? It's the nicest section of the building you found so far. This is very clearly like the executive suite of the office. This looks like a personal secretary, and you can see there's a door back behind this empty desk. Which seems to lead further inside. What do y'all want to do?
No person at the desk?
No, and it's actually... It is eerily empty. Without the semblance spell, you can see that, like... It looks like an office that... someone was about to move into, and then they just didn't for like 2 years.
So it's like they were starting a business right before the pandemic hit.
Basically.
I guess Cyrus will try to go sneaky.
All right. Give me a stealth check.
Cannot find it.
17.
17. Is anyone else stealthing?
I'm going to stay in the elevator for now.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Lexi's most healthy.
Although I am still glowing, so.
I'll say, yeah, I think you can actually turn off your own light if you'd like to. think you just double click your token and you should have edit access, and light should be an option.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
All I see is bars and Dora.
Huh. Maybe it's only something I can do. And they're off. Which means that it is very dark and spooky. All right. So, Cyrus, you've made your stealth check. What do you want to do with it?
Immediately upon entering the room, does it look does it appear to be empty?
You check here. Almost unsettlingly so. They are not represented on the map here, but there would... Normally this sort of room would have at least one secretary, maybe two, as well as like a large, very nice sort of waiting area. The kind of place where the people who are too important for the waiting area downstairs would wait. But it is... Again, it's not destroyed, but there's still like little marks of like construction that's not quite finished. Like some of the furniture still has like wrapping on it, like it was just delivered. But the wrapping has like a layer of dust over it. You see some desiccated, large, like interior ferns that were probably supposed to make the office seem lively, and instead they have just like fully wilted, crackled, and just are rotting on the floor. There's a set of doors behind the desk, and that seems to be the only other way in or out of the room.
Sorry. Stay on the northern end of the wall and then come back down to kind of take a look at the other set of doors.
All right. Give me... Well, I guess I should ask. What are you wanting to do with the doors?
I think first thing is try to sense if there's any sounds or kind of signs of life coming from the other side.
Give me a perception check.
21.
My dog does not find D&D super entertaining. Anyway, with a 21, so there's sort of two layers. At first, you hear nothing. There is an intense stillness to the room ahead. But again, you're sort of in your element right now. Like sneaking through an empty building, listening at doors, picking locks, hacking computers. This is sort of Cyrus's day job before all this happened. You can tell the difference between the silence of truly nothing being there versus the silence of very quiet things waiting very, very still. And it feels more like the latter than the former.
Okay. Is this a desk in the middle, or?
Yes, there's a large desk. Again, kind of the usual setup: phone, computer, drawers.
Okay, I think Cyrus will make his way over there and check for papers, see if anything stands out again.
This desk actually looks more used.
Okay.
And here is where you find a lot more of what you would have expected to find on previous floors. It's very much sort of the paper history of this zoning challenge against Luz. It's just piles of it. This seems to be like the filing area that is being referenced by the document you found downstairs. So you actually find like the initial letter, very well written, talking to a developer about all of the exciting potential for the area of town in which Luz is located. Talking about the historic charm of the area and how it's due for some redevelopment there's a lot of very flowery language to it. It really is sort of like a poetic account of gentrification in like one letter. You find an enthusiastic response that's been sent back. The developer is very interested. They inquire about, they're excited, but they're basically asking like, well, how would the zoning change here? We can't build those sorts of things there. And basically the next letter says, we'll take care of it. So you have this sort of chain of this developer, and again, nothing illegal. Like, there's sort of a standard fee. There's some standard like contracts and retainers. They're officially hired by this company to sort of move the legal wheels to make this happen. There's reports on like the economic history of the area. It talks about like property being undervalued, about crime rates and local schools and tax income for the city from local businesses. It's very meticulously laid out. I think you find one other thing that is of interest. There is a sort of daily calendar that is mostly indecipherable. A lot of it's written in like acronyms, or people are like listed by like the first letter of their organization or name or something like that. But you notice one that's very striking. There is a meeting listed with a C and a P. And the only reason that it sticks out to you is that it happens about an hour before you were attacked outside the embassy.
Okay. Cyrus will snap a picture of that and any of the other like legal stuff that feels relevant, and then I think slip back over to the reception room to share. This room is empty. There's probably somebody waiting for us outside the other door. Inside the other door.
So form up at the door, be ready to fight, or ignore them and go home.
Yeah, I don't know if we got. I don't know that we got much to defend ourselves with. I mean, we could maybe try to pull this meeting memo and place it with our attack to try to, as further evidence to the embassy that there's illegal Fey activity.
Right, but right now it's pretty shaky evidence.
Yeah.
Well, we did miraculously get a whole lot of health and powers back, so it would be a little bit wasteful to just leave, right?
And what else might we find if we venture in a little further?
So I wish I had. I can't think of anything good to like try to convince the people in there to come out to us, or I don't want to just open that door and waltz into an attack.
Right.
Or do we need to, I don't know, if this is, I'm trying to think, like, do we go in under false pretenses since it's my building? It's my business that's at stake here. Do we, come in like under the pretense that we're here for a meeting about it, here to talk, rather than just slam some faces into the ground like Lexi's normal modus operandum?
So yeah, I was looking at, like, I've got the spell Silent Image, where I can, and so like I can project an image of a creature walking. So we could try like the doorway and open the door, and Cyrus sends through the door an illusory sneaky Cyrus, and see if something pounces.
That's not a bad idea.
Which way does the door open?
It looks like it would swing out, like towards you.
Towards us. You can see through your own illusions, right?
I assume so.
What if I used minor illusion to create a replica of the door and then open the door?
I think we're getting really complicated here, guys.
I mean, that's the only way that I can think of with what I have available to see what's inside. Assuming that it actually works.
Yeah, I mean, I believe at least at one point you Auric conjured a like minor illusion of a tree in front of Cyrus one time, but
Right.
all right, so we could go fake door or fake Cyrus.
I'd say fake Cyrus.
Okay.
All right. So Oric's going to create this illusion, and y'all are going to open the door.
So I think I'm gonna cast a silent image of myself.
Okay.
And we're gonna like take up positions like next to the door and open it, and and then illusory Cyrus is going to be sneaking into the room.
All right. So y'all want to go ahead and take your positions?
If I can even find the door.
Yeah. I was gonna say where do I need to be?
Oh, yeah, that is a factor. For the rest of you, it is very dark.
Yes. I am standing in the shadows.
I am too. I don't see anything.
So that will
I don't
be a
even know
factor
where-
when you get into the room.
Sorry, we heard some background noise that might have been the kitten.
I don't think it was the kitten.
You don't think it was the kitten? Okay.
I'm just going to stand right here because there's apparently a wall because I can't go any further.
Yep.
I'm gonna just stand right next to Auric.
You can see me?
I can see you. That's all I can see.
I can't see you.
See, that's my screen.
If/when we get a signal from Cyrus, I'm going to turn my light back on.
Probably not a bad idea.
All right. You all ready to give it a shot?
Let's
Sure.
go.
All right. So what's the exact order of events?
I would say
Cyrus
we
is
get
going
into
to-
position first.
Well, yes.
Yeah. We get in position, stealthily open the door, and then slowly send the illusory Cyrus through.
All right. So what is your spell save DC?
14.
14. Let me rearrange y'all just a little. So you're actually to either side of the door.
Appreciate.
So this map came pre-gridded, but as I look at it, the proportions are just wild. This door is like 30 feet across.
So is that desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to open like a reasonable amount of space instead of the whole door. But it came pre-gridded. I did not do that. Okay. So, Illusory Cyrus. walks into the room. And I'm going to go ahead and have everyone roll for initiative, just so we can let it unfold.
It's like the 5th 6 I've rolled tonight.
Okay, I have an advantage on that. So can I roll on initiative? And I'm not raging.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because I have a 6, so I'm going to roll again. A 20.
All right.
That sounds like a better option than 6.
Yeah, that's actually super important. So, order of events.
20. 24.
Yeah.
So
mine's a dirty.
So what sort of, how is Illusory Cyrus acting as he walks through the door?
So he's he's kind of trying to be quiet and sneak in, and he's probably gonna head from Cyrus's vantage point, I guess we'll like turn south to like hug that towards in that direction.
Couch in that office that's like 30 feet long.
So sort of here's how this unfolds. So the door swings open, Illusory Cyrus goes sneaking in. There are at least 2 swarms of those giant, twisted, hairless cats waiting on the other side of the door. Illusory Cyrus hardly makes it anywhere before 2 swarms of cats just descend, and like Illusory Cyrus vanishes in a flurry of like as these huge cats, and like 30 of them all descend.
I rage as a reaction to seeing this.
But they are distracted. And so, Cyrus, you are first. Some of these creatures are going to be surprised.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
All right, so I can see kind of through the doorway without having to enter the room. I can see at least one of the swarms.
Yeah, you can see at least one from where you're at.
Okay. Did we determine if I can hex a swarm?
I would think so.
Okay. Although always rogue things. I think I'm better off doing because the prize doesn't give advantage. So I think I'm better off trying to get sneak attack with steady aim as my bonus action this time. So yeah.
All right.
So I'm a advantage shot with the bow. Oh.
It's okay. It's a bunch of unarmored cats.
I know, but it was really close to an 18 and a 20 instead of an 8 and 4.
Yeah, that will definitely hit.
Okay. So 9 and then 18. So 27.
Did you include your hex?
No, because I used bonus action.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
for a sneak attack. So,
and it doesn't even matter because you just like, I mean, this is very like SWAT-esque. Again, this is Cyrus's job. You slice the pie. You just come around the corner, bow, and the force of it makes no reasonable sense. It's more like they get hit by a missile. The magic of the bow, this strange magic that flows through you, they sort of blend together, and this arrow flies. And the way it hits is less like a piercing arrow, and it's more like a boulder. It just like one of the swarms just fully is disintegrated, and the individuals that make it up are just like dissolving. So bonus action. Do you want to move?
nope, or it can't.
Oh, that's right. Steady aim. Lexi, you're up.
All right. I don't totally know where to start because I can't see anything. I would like to cantrip light so that I can see.
So turning your light on is an action.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll just attack in the dark. Okay, I can kind of see now that I've moved in the door. Because I see that there is like a sort of a cat thing in front of me, but that's like faded.
Yep, that's just the lighting.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so I'm gonna attack the swarm of cats.
All right. It is surprise, so go ahead and attack.
Okay. That's a 19. Do I get a sneak attack on that? So do I get advantage on that or what? I didn't hear what you said.
I said you're a barbarian. You don't get sneak attack.
Well, no, but they're surprised. So do I get advantage on that? That's what I was
I don't believe
at.
so.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 19, so that's not bad.
Yeah, surprise just means they're basically like forgoing their first turn.
Okay. Okay. I did 11 points of damage with that.
All right. And you've still got another attack.
And so I will roll again. And that's a 22 to hit.
Nice.
Nice.
And 8 points of damage.
All right. It is very hurt. It does not go because it's surprised, but its friend does. So one swarm just moves through the other. It's almost like watching a wave move through the ocean. You're not even sure if like the cats that end the movement are the ones that started moving, or if they just sort of like rippled through the other swarm. But they swarm out over you, and they are going to attack. That's only a 10. That is not going to hit.
Okay, nope.
All right, Auric, you're up.
All right. Well, since I'm here in combat, I'm assuming we're not sneaking anymore. And bonus action to turn my light on.
All right.
That's right. Yours is a bonus action.
The Fey Flame Torch is a bonus action.
Yeah. I guess I could have turned on my flashlight as a bonus action. But
I can see. It's a miracle.
I can see too because of Auric.
You see a literal like wave of cats washing over Lexi and like enveloping her.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I am. Yeah.
I don't actually see Lexi. There's so many cats.
I'm in the bottom left-hand corner of the lower swarm of cats.
So you're the bottom corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like so where you are, I'm like 3 blocks to the right of you.
Directly parallel to me.
Directly parallel, yeah.
Okay. Thinking through spells that I can cast and not hit Lexi.
Thanks.
I will. So from here, Lexi's right next to me, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so instead I will step here.
Okay.
And burning hands angled in such a way as to not hit Lexi.
Thanks.
All right.
So that is a dexterity save of 15 from the swarms.
So you do see that the fire like ripples around them. They're going to roll this save with advantage.
Ooh, hiss.
Okay.
But the first one still only gets a 6. Second one only gets a 9 with advantage.
So they still take full damage, plus the extra 3 because I'm casting a fire spell.
Yup.
So 15 fire damage.
All right. You finish off one and badly hurt the other. And we are back up with Cyrus, and there is only one left. One swarm.
Can I still see it from where I'm standing?
Yeah. It basically moved where the one you shot was.
And Lexi and Oric are engaged, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Then let's hex it and shoot it. $21 to hit.
21 will hit. That takes it out.
Okay.
That was substantially less eventful.
Yep. So you heard them coming. You set a trap. You broke through. This is like a large sort of reception area. There's more tables than it looks here. There's awards along the walls, fancy bookshelves, and it's real. The semblance has dropped. This is actually like a finished section of the building. It is still mostly dark, and there is a room. There are doors leading to the room far opposite you.
But otherwise, it's just an open area.
It's not entirely open. There's a very nice couch right here.
That's true. The giant, like 30-foot couch. Based on Colby's description of the dimensions of this place.
It's like a
And it's funny.
20
It came put together. Like all I did was match it to the grid, and not perfectly, but it's actually, you can see that like that's the.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
I love the plant next to it
Yeah,
because
the
I look at the
potted plants
plant
is-
and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
man, that must be a palm tree.
That's a 25 by 25 spread inside the building. Extra
Okay.
vaulted ceilings, 30-foot ceilings.
There we go.
All right. If you're facing another door.
I'll listen again.
I'm not even going to make you check for this. All of you can hear. Someone is like quietly listening to music in the next room.
Do we know the song?
I would actually say that it's like an instrumental version of like a jazz standard.
Instrumental version of Genesis, Land of Confusion. I feel like that's appropriate
Probably.
because I'm confused right now.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I'm assuming if somebody's in there, the music is a distraction. They probably either heard the fight in this room, so I'm thinking just try to stealth in again rather than silent image again.
All right. So you're going to try and like, how are you going to try and stealth into the room?
I guess just try to like stealth, like try to really quietly open the door and like peek in.
All right. Everybody go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh, wrong.
Well, it's not a 6 on the die. Instead, it's a 6 total.
Oh, same. God damn it.
I am also carrying a torch, so that's probably
I
why
like
I
my
would
24.
I'm not, but well, I'm raging, so I'm probably stomping. Hero light is glowing off of me.
Um,
On Super Saiyan.
so yeah, I'll go ahead and open this door for you all. I will open it a reasonable amount. And you all should be able to see most of an office
Yes.
that is dimly illuminated in red light.
Can you tell where the music's coming from?
It seems to be playing from speakers in here. Did I really... There's a shadow, and I can't tell if the shadow is just from where I put the lights, or if somehow the chair is casting a shadow. That can't be right. Okay, it's just the lights. Okay, that really confused me. Yeah, it just seems to be sort of playing for the computer. There's like a tall, nice office chair behind a large desk. This room is like all... just one massive window. Or multiple panes of windows, but like all windows across the top. This room isn't looking out over the parking lot at all. It is just looking out over that sort of massive, dark, ancient winter forest. And the chair sort of like rotates just a little bit, like sort of swinging idly. What do you all want to do?
I'm staying in the back.
Try to sneak in, I guess.
All right. You all only make it like 10 feet into the room, and you hear a sort of... Not necessarily... It sounds like an older male human voice. Kind of on the lower end. Very sort of businesslike. Lexi, you recognize it. You have heard this voice before. And you hear, Miss Farino, Mr. Darlanton, I believe, and I can't hear him, but I suppose your friend Mr. Dunhallow couldn't be too far behind. I was enjoying
He had to tie his shoelaces.
I was enjoying watching him on the security cameras.
I'm sure.
The chair turns around, and it's just a very, almost painfully plain looking human. Looks like a male in probably his, probably in his like mid to late 40s, but with a very sort of stern, sort of professional appearance. And the chair rotates around, and he looks at you all and says, well, I really wasn't sure that you all were going to make it up here. I thought maybe we had put too many distractions on the second floor. Too much? Too little? I need to give feedback to the HR department.
More vending machines, please.
Noted.
Maybe work on the dialogue boxes for the receptionists.
Meow, what could you be talking about?
Exactly.
Yes, I know. The semblance spell does have its limits. And we've had this one running for quite a while. We thought you all were never going to come by. We spared no expense to set this place up. Just for you.
For what?
Well, if you were to come, we would have the caretakers of the Nexus of Hero Light in the city of Queensboro. We would remove... Well, to be honest, we were targeting you, Miss Farino, but your companions have proven equally disconcerting. So we will write that off as a bonus, a dividend for the project. Worst case scenario, you never showed up, and well, the rezoning is moving right along on schedule, and if we can force you out of the facility, we win either way. But to be honest, and here he stands up and sort of sets down the paperwork he was looking at. He says, I'm very thankful that you decided to come in person. This will be much more fun. And when he says that, he smiles for the first time. And what's become disturbingly familiar, the smile just keeps going and going. And there is a massive, toothy grin. And there's little, like, licking flame coming out from the edges. And the shadows sort of stretch out behind him. And silhouetted against this faint light coming in from the window, his silhouette almost slips into shadow. But you can then see his eyes are now glowing with this blue fire you've seen on the largest of the Luck Eaters.
Yeah, I'm not finished letting you monologue. Got some questions first.
So the humanoid visage drops away, and there is a huge cat. And I don't mean like a tiger. I mean, it looks like a house cat, but it's like a house cat the size of a VW bug. And he says, oh, well, continue. And he just sort of like politely curls up in that spot to listen.
Yeah, so a note on what you said. You taught when you mentioned the rezoning going forward. I'm just kind of curious here. And maybe it's both. But is it me you're after specifically, or the building? Am I in the way because you're trying to get to the building? Or are you trying to get the building because you're trying to get to me? Just curious here. There's a lot of my history I don't know. So any background you can give me would be fabulous.
Well, well, well. Who would have thought that you would have a Lord of Winter having to explain to a bearer of the hero light their own power? This is quite the unusual opportunity.
I'm sure, but indulge me.
Why does it have to be one or the other? See, this is why it's so frightfully easy to have the run of this poor, pathetic human city. It's been 1,500 years, and you've grown soft and tired. You think plots move in only one direction, that plans can only have one outcome. It's all of the above, Miss Farino. It's always all of the above. We can remove you and this meddlesome influence you have been creating in the city. We can damage the flow of hero light and forestall the appearance of additional human heroes. And honestly, because it's fun.
Well, you are cats, so cats do like to play with their food before they eat it. But I do wonder, what of the ravens?
The eyes narrow just a little bit. We don't need to be concerned with the ravens anymore. I'm afraid that...
Sure.
He laughs like quite a bit here. Oh, that's That's why you haven't done anything yet. You don't even know. Oh, yes, we took care of the Raven problem several weeks ago.
Oh, do share. I'd love to hear more.
Oh, I would, but I'm afraid that we've taken enough time.
Oh, no, honey, we have not.
I'm afraid that my friends disagree, and the edges of the space start to wash out slightly. And the line between the office and the forest that you can see through the windows starts to become vague. It actually looks almost exactly the same as the very first demand you entered. The one that subsumed poor Archie's office and a great deal of the third floor of the Kent building. The walls and the forest floor are starting to sort of commingle, and you see shapes moving through the trees. Yes, I'm afraid that, well, at this point, you'll never find out what's happened to the bird. I've so enjoyed this little game, but I suppose it's time that it comes to an end.
Sad that it's all a game for you.
He just smiles, and I'm going to have everybody roll for initiative. Oops. I'm going to start the encounter. There we go.
15 for me.
It's a 5, but I have advantage.
23.
I rolled a 5 twice. What the fuck? Come on, game.
Oh, shoot. Did not mean to roll again. Sorry.
It's all right.
Come on, dice.
So we'll put the 7. If you right-click when you roll initiative, you can actually set it to roll with advantage.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to check, and I accidentally clicked instead of right-clicking.
No, it's fine because I rolled twice and didn't change anything. So.
All right. Cyrus, you are up first.
All right. I can't see any. Like, is it just the guy who was talking?
The shapes at the edge of the room are indistinct still.
Okay. All right, and so he's at the chair.
The chair has almost been like pushed out of the way because now he is like an 8-foot tall cat. Like just laying is 8 feet tall.
Okay, but I was trying to figure out like if I have to move closer.
With your dark vision, you should be able to see. There shouldn't be anything sort of interrupting your line of sight.
Okay.
For some reason, the red light really makes things look washed out. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I mean, I guess it kind of works with the vibe, but...
Yeah. And honestly, I think I may have, because I don't have that problem with Auric, but I know that at one point I was controlling him because I was doing that for Joe for some reason. And I think that's the only reason why I have greater vision on Auric than I do on anything else. Because you don't have great vision on me. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Well, so steady aim, 24 to hit.
Okay, now he looks normal.
24 hits.
Ooh, nice. 31 points of damage.
Nice.
It was
All right.
almost max sneak attack.
Nice.
All right. At the end of your turn, the giant cat creature is going to use a legendary action. Oh, yeah, we'll go with that one. Everybody needs to make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. 12.
10.
6.
Oh no. All of you are charmed. The creature that you have known as Buchanan lets out this deep resonant purr. And there is some kind of insidious mystical quality to it. And it winds its way into your mind. And you find yourself wondering, like, why would you want to hurt this creature?
I was about
It's
to
a
say,
big
we're all
cat.
going, oh, he's a kitchen.
All right. Then on initiative 20, everybody roll 1d4.
4.
2.
One.
And a 1. All right. Those are pretty good rolls to start. Two lesser luck eaters enter from either side of the screen. Other side of the map. It's like when they walk through, there's sort of like a liquid quality as they sort of pass through what would be the window. And are now standing in the space.
The kitchen.
All right, that was the lair action. There are none of those. Auric, you are next.
Okay. Well, since I'm charmed, I obviously can't do anything to big cat, but small cats are not so lucky, right?
That's correct.
Oh, is Cyrus still hidden, or do I see you now?
I didn't hide.
Oh, you
so-
didn't hide. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that will inform my decision. Because I think I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians. And let's see, so that's a 15-foot aura. And since I can see Cyrus and Lexi, they are both exempt from the aura.
Oh, sweet.
5, 10, 15, 20. And I will come and stand right here.
I want to resolve something. Give me a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Okay. Uh, 15.
You are very lucky. 15 is what you needed to be able to target Buchanan with an ability. Which in this case means not exempting him from Spirit Guardians.
Oh. Okay.
That's why I gave you advantage, because it's not the strictest reading of the ability, but it's hard to say that you're not choosing to not exclude him from an attack is another way of saying
Right.
targeting him with an
similar
attack.
to dropping a fireball near him.
Yeah. Which would be covered by this. All right. So you do manage to succeed. On the creature's turn, it will make it save. Anything with your bonus action?
No, I don't think so.
All right. At the end of your turn, it is going to Buchanan is going to curse Cyrus with misfortune. Your next attack roll or saving throw has disadvantage. All right. And now it's his turn. On his turn,
Do we get a resave on the charm?
Yes, I left that off this one for some reason. So at the end of Auric, yeah, you would do another
Wisdom save.
yes. That is just enough.
All right.
Which is good because on Buchanan's turn, he is going to glow. So there were these sort of strange, wild, multicolored patterns on the tiger forms of the greater luck eaters. And he glows in just this array of colors. And the colors actually like wash out of him. And each of you needs to make a charisma saving throw.
So many saving throws.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? It's a 4 on the die, which means a 10.
Oh.
17.
This I make with disadvantage because of the curse.
Yes. Lexi passes. All right. But that is his action. And the poor lesser luck eater is going to make what is it, wisdom save?
I believe so.
All right. Gets a 7.
Only 9 points of necrotic damage.
All right, it doesn't immediately die.
What? Amazing.
So it is going to it probably can't make that work. It is going to close with Auric, and it's going to attack.
Fair.
18 to hit.
That does hit.
6 points of slashing damage.
Yay, 6 points of damage.
This sort of house cat just leaps at you and attacks.
And
Perfect.
presumably concentration check.
Yep.
22. I don't know if that's going to work or not.
I should color code all my curses. I gotta think. So you've got purple. Yeah, that wouldn't matter. Okay. So the other creature is going to charge at Cyrus with a flying leap and a... So it's going to make a claw attack first. 20 to hit.
Yep.
6 points of slashing damage. You need to make a strength saving throw. And you have the purple curse, so you're going to subtract 1d4.
Guessing it's not going to matter.
All right. You are knocked prone.
All right.
And so it's also going to make a bite attack. I think because of the curse, it's sort of affecting your senses. And so you're caught off guard by just how heavy this cat is as it smacks you in the face, like just flying out of the air. And then it's going to it rolled that should make you feel better. It rolled a 2 and a 5, so it does not hit, even with advantage. All right, top of the round. It is Cyrus's turn. No, did I jump Lexi?
I think so.
Maybe.
Oh, hey, Lexi, it's your turn.
Sweet. So when do I roll to see if I can shake the
End of your turn.
end of my turn? Okay.
So at least for right now, it will be difficult, but not impossible to try and target Buchan.
Okay. Let's see here. So would I then explain that to me, because you say it's difficult but not impossible. So like, am I able to try? Like, how would I try?
You would just move up and try and make your attack.
Okay.
But each time you're going to roll a wisdom save, or sorry, it should have been roll a charisma save to see if you can do it.
Okay. Well, then I am. I'll stand on the giant table. It looks like it's 60 feet long. And so roll a charisma save first, or?
Close like you're actually going to hit it.
Okay, so closer.
Yeah.
Like
now
that.
Roll it.
Now roll. Roll charisma. Okay. Charisma saving throw. Excuse me. Well, that's a no, because that was a 3. So that would be a 4.
You charge across here with your sort of hero light blazing and
Kitten.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kitten.
And Auric, you would just know, because you identified these earlier, this is how Luck Eaters work. You know that this thing is sort of feeding off of your positive outcomes. It is literally like making it worse. But they have such powerful charm that it's like, oh, until like an anvil falls on your head and you die. All right, that was Lexi.
Do I get to do that twice or just once?
Go ahead and do it twice.
Okay. That's an 8.
On an 8. Oh, kitten.
Does he have teeth, or is he almost toothless?
There
my kitten.
There are so many teeth.
He does not get a gold grill like Maisie will.
Buchanan is smiling, and there's just so many teeth.
Maybe he'll lend you some after we take your teeth out on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right.
In other real life news, the cat's getting surgery on Thursday to get her teeth removed.
All right. At the end of...
Don't forget to do the save.
Yeah, do your save at the end of your turn.
Which is wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20.
All right. You are no longer cursed.
Sweet.
With that curse, instead, he's going to use misfortune. Your next attack roll or saving throw has disadvantage.
Okay. I'll try to remember that.
Cyrus, you're up.
All right. Can I stand up from prone and still use steady aim? Standing up from prone uses movement, but I don't know if it counts as a move.
Interesting. Let's double check the wording. If you haven't moved. Let me see if there's a column on this. Man, there's always an answer. Like, someone always has a thought on it, but the question is there anyone who has like an authoritative answer?
Yeah, is there an official thought?
I feel like you probably can't do both.
Okay. In that case, the one on Auric is pretty hurt, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cyrus is gonna stand up from prone. Bonus action disengage. Move down here and shoot the one on Auric. $18 to hit.
18 will hit. So did you stand?
Yes.
Okay. So when you moved away, you'd have an attack of opportunity, or did you disengage?
Bonus action disengage.
Okay, cool. I'm making my color chart real quick. I'll need a different set of colors for all the other stuff. All right.
That's
so
23 points of damage on Oryx.
All right. That does kill it. Which means Auric gets to make a charisma saving throw.
Right. Nat 1.
All right. So we're going to call this one pink. You now have a purple curse and a pink curse.
Do not approve.
All right. So anything else from Cyrus?
What's the save again?
Wisdom save.
12.
12 does not do it, especially because then you have minus 1d4. All right.
How long does the 1d4 stick around?
1d4 sticks around till it wears off. It's a limited use ability. So you can't just stack back up every turn.
Okay.
All right. On initiative count 20. Can't use the same one twice. Let's see how far you are. Perfect. So, Cyrus, I have good news. You're no longer charmed. The bad news is that right before your charm ends, you find yourself filled with this irrational anger at Auric. Auric is hurting these cats, these poor defenseless animals, and you don't understand why. You move 30 feet and make an attack against Auric. Although I guess you do make your attack and then roll minus 1d4.
That's good.
So with the swords?
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the 1d4 is gonna take it down low enough.
Okay. I got a 19. Can I miss?
My AC is 14.
Okay, so I can't miss.
Yeah.
So then just regular damage roll.
A regular damage roll plus 2d6. For some reason, I had it in my head that Auric took a feat.
Nope, no feats.
Huh.
Okay, 13 total.
Ow.
All right, that was his lair action.
And my concentration check, I guess. 12. No. I shouldn't have reminded you.
The Spirit Guardians go poof. I wish there was a checkbox to just turn auras off and on instead of having to clear them.
Yeah.
But anywho, all right, Auric, it is your turn.
Thanks, Cyrus.
All right.
Let's see. And I'm no longer charmed, right?
Right.
Okay.
You still have the minus 1d4 and the... I think you would have figured this out by now. The lesser luck eaters basically give you a curse of clumsiness. And
Right,
so if you move more than 10 feet, you have a chance of falling prone.
So Lexi is right here, right?
She's right upon him.
Okay. Well then. That's 20 feet. That's 20 feet. So, that's 20 from Lexi? All right, then I guess I should put it here. Yes. Fireball centered there.
All right.
1d4 doesn't matter if I don't make an attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way I could read it that way. Well, there is a way I could read it that way. I shouldn't read it that way, so I'm not going to.
I'm guessing one of his abilities.
Yeah. What's your save?
It's a dexterity 15.
He gets a 17, so he's going to take half damage.
Half damage. 28, so 14.
All right. You blast a big chunk out of him, even though he like partially flexes out of the way. This will be good to end on. So your fireball scorches Buchanan, which is what you wanted it to do. It also blasts out all of these windows.
The windows, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So the cats have been coming in from sort of the north and the south, and the window here has still been sort of overlooking this forest. As soon as this window blows out, the quality of the air changes dramatically. The temperature in the room drops like 40 degrees. It was cool, but spring was on its way in Queensboro. This is the chill of winter. Capital W winter. And it brings with it these strange impressions. Auric, this feels like home, sort of. But this is the depths of winter. You're from more like the outskirts of winter. This is where stuff gets real. This is the red and tooth and claw part of fairy. There is a smell mingled together of pine and evergreen needles, but also of blood and the frozen sweat of desperate prey fleeing like its life depends on it. And you can feel this pressure that pushes down on all of you. And each of you in your own way is a little bit resistant to it. A normal human would probably just crumple. But Auric, you're partly acclimated to it. And also you feel that strange sort of internal spirit of defiance that has occasionally flared up within you. Lexi, the hero light burns brighter, and you feel it kind of wash around you. And Cyrus, it's almost like the shadows around you grow deeper, and the chill itself like reflexively veers away from you, almost like it's been startled. There's this rush of winter air into the room, the effects of which we won't see until next week. But one last thing happens. When the windows break and this air rushes in, Cyrus, you suddenly feel like a string that had been disconnected suddenly snaps back to tension in a way that you don't know if it was this strong before, or if maybe you've become more powerful and attuned to it, or maybe it's just its absence. Something is calling you out in the air, out in those wintry spaces. Someone very familiar is calling you from fairy. You have the impression of shadows and feathers and the calling of birds. And you realize that Mort is out there somewhere in fairy. And that's where we'll come back next week.
He ain't dead like the cat said he was. Well, maybe the cat didn't quite say that, but the cat implied that the problem had been taken care of. Sure.
All right. Once again, I forgot to actually record the Zoom, so I hope our Twitch stream worked correctly. Mm-hmm. Seems like we did okay, so. All right. We will come back next week and finish the battle with the lawyer Buchanan turned the king of luck eaters, Buchan. And we'll see what effects blowing out this window is going to have.
All right.
And not that I wanted to interrupt that beautiful scene setting, but I guess I do still technically have a move and a bonus action left to start next week.
That's true. Oh, also, we're not playing next week because it's the Monday after Easter, right?
Yes.
Yep.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
It's good that it's spring break for you, John, because I forgot I have a dress rehearsal that night.
I'm going to go ahead and kill our stream.